Hey guys! This is a class on what is commonly referred to as the digital revolution. We're going to be examining the social, technical, and cultural impacts of the shift from print to digital media in an effort to understand what, if anything, is revolutionary about digital media. Since we're examining the impact of the shift or the change, the starting place for our class is the birth of print culture. And in order to get a grip on what's different about digital media, we're going to start with features of print media, move on to some of the key developments that have led to the rise of digital media, and then discuss some aspects of digital media and culture. In our video today, I want to say a little bit about the organization of the class. You should see from the syllabus that there are basically two things happening. There's the weekly topical discussions, and there's the big old research paper, which you guys will be collecting into a volume along with your peers' papers. Basically, you're going to be graded on three things: how good your paper ultimately is, the quality of the volume you guys put together, and how well you kept on top of things and played with everybody else. My big thing in teaching is transparency. I want you to be very clear about the purpose of the stuff that I asked you to do. I assigned the big research paper because I think there are three important skills that a paper like that ideally develops. The first is the ability to think critically about a topic. The second is to organize and convey your thoughts clearly. And the third is the ability to take a big project and break it down into small, manageable bits. It doesn't really matter what you do later on. Each of these skills is important even if you never write a research paper again. So when I read your papers, I don't really care whether you say something original or like, whoa, smart, or even whether you're ultimately right. I do care about your ability to demonstrate that you've read some stuff, understood it, and done something with those ideas that was new to you. Writing a research paper should be a process of learning and discovery. It's not enough to accurately report what other people have found and thought about a topic. You need to demonstrate that you have connected or expanded those ideas in a new to you way. You're going to be working on this paper for most of the summer session because it's my goal to demystify the process of writing a research paper like that. In addition to writing the paper, you're going to be in a group of your peers. There will either be two groups or one. This is a small class, so that's just going to depend on your research topics. The group or groups will research different self-publishing venues and put together a volume of those papers with an introduction and other required formatting as if they were going to submit the volume for self-publication. So that means that you guys will need to work together to research the publishing outlet, put together an introduction and other aspects of the volume, and then get your paper finished on time so you don't leave your peers hanging. The goal with this assignment is to both familiarize you with different venues for self-publishing, which is an important topic in a class on the digital revolution, and to help you develop skills in project management. Group work can be annoying, I know, I get it, but I do think that it does students a disservice when they don't have the opportunity to work on these sorts of projects, because especially in libraries, much of your professional life will involve your ability to successfully work in teams to complete a project. Similar to the way I see my job with respect to the research paper, I take it that it's my job to help you develop those skills that you need to put the project together. I'll try to make some of the organization and the coordination stuff easier. Once the groups are established, I'm going to set up private discussion forums and a group locker for file storage for you guys in D2L. I'm also always available for questions and suggestions. There are going to be 3 progress reports where I'll be asking you to send me certain parts of your paper in progress and tell me where your group is at with the volume stuff. So those are the end projects that we're working towards. But of course, every week there's also going to be readings, lectures, and discussions, which are going to be both topical and project related. I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed by the process, so I'll be keeping the joint readings manageable each week, and those will be supplemented with my lectures and other podcasts and videos that I find. I'll be helping you guys narrow down possible topics, locate books and chapters and articles, work out a thesis, etc., and of course giving lectures on the readings and the material. So this isn't a correspondence class. I'm not just posting materials for you to do stuff with at your convenience. Instead, this class is a lot more like a face-to-face class that just happens to take place virtually. So that means you have a lot more flexibility about your own schedule and when you work on the stuff and participate, but you'll still need to log into D2L every couple of days or so, and you'll also need to keep in good touch with the members of your group. As this is a summer class, we're going to be going through a lot of material in a really short period of time, but as long as you keep up with everything week to week, it should be pretty manageable and hopefully fun and interesting as well. Please also remember that I'm always available for questions and to chat about any issues that you may be having about the course. So that would be enough with the how is this going to work stuff. Your assignment for this week is to read Wikipedia's entry on oral culture, manuscript culture, and the Information Society. So this is just to introduce you to the course context and some of the questions that are going to guide us. I want you guys to start thinking about some possible topics that interest you. You can look at the list of paper starting points in D12 if you need some suggestions. And at the end of next week, I'm going to ask you to pick a broad research area. So in this class, we're going to be examining in particular the way that media influence our society, community, and culture. By next Wednesday, you'll need to have read the Eisenstein's paper on features of print culture, which I need to rescan today, which is Monday, and get that up to you on D12 for you to read. Now, in the entry on the information age, Wikipedia connects the digital revolution with a shift from traditional industry, a la the Industrial Revolution and industrialization, to an economy that's based on manipulating information and data. Now, that's a bit broader than what we're going to focus on, though. We're going to focus on the social, cultural, and economic impacts of the digital revolution as it pertains to media, the channels through which we communicate. We're going to be guided by a few basic questions. What are some features of print media? How have features of print media given rise to what scholars have called the print culture? What are some features of digital media? And how have features of digital media given rise to digital culture? We're also going to be examining how important the media are in shaping the particular ways that people think and organize their communities and lives. As classes taught through Searles Go, this is on the theoretical end of the spectrum. But there are ramifications to how we answer these questions for libraries, museums, and other cultural institutions. So for discussion this week, I want you guys to think about and weigh in on what some of those ramifications might be. I've got my own thoughts on this too, which I'll be sharing later in the week, but I want to hear about your ideas on this question first. We're going to be revisiting this question at the end of class, but I want this question to be at the forefront as we go on. So, discussion question. What are some of the ramifications of the shift from print to digital culture that affect libraries, museums, and archives? I just want you guys to do some brainstorming and think about how you might want to answer that.